Okay, the car list. Yeah. Group fours. Please. Yeah, fine, whatever. Mid-rear, 4C. RSO1, 4C again. GT2 test car. And the R8. Okay. Everything that isn't of Group 4 is pretty much turbocharger. I can't care. The RSO1 is the least turbocharger. So is the Lancer and the test car since it's supercharger. But it's just undrivable. The BRZ, but again, it's clunky. And the 4C Group 3 or Group 4 because it's a wheelbase, part weight distribution weight car because it's small. You can't tell me otherwise about this Corvette C7, Mustang Group 3, and then Vantage, and then Viper, and then SLS, and then let alone the R8. Okay. Because all of these Group 4s can do all of that, pretty much, if you drive them enough. Yeah, fine. The RSO1, it's slow to the ground enough. The Lancer is just nice that way. I wish I could do the four-wheel drive. I'm in Group 4 one, but I have this 4C problem where this thing has to be mid-rear, and I can't do it without the AMG or the Vantage or the Mustang or the Viper or the Corvette. Okay, because then I have this R8 thing all over again, and then the GT2 test car. Found them, but the BRZ. What do you want? Look at the Mustang, and it's huge, tall. So is the Lancer. So is the Vantage, by the way. And they're low to the ground, but no, not really. Because then they're like long cars. Oh, the wheelbase is the length and the width of the car, basically. Right. And then the height is just the cabin size or just how tall you are. But if you're driving, like, it's just as far back behind on the seat as possible, and then down since you want to mind like the clouds and like the top of your eyes, and then you're not driving trying to avoid gravel like in real life, a pothole, I think maybe, but even then, you'd still be able to feel it with the sounds of the car and the aspiration and like the transmission and everybody else going before you, or if you know where you're going. Right. The Viper, you can do anything, but just physically, you'll just not be there. The C7 will always be comfortable. The Mustang will give out on you, so you have to underdrive it. The Vantage, same thing as the C7, and so does the 86, except it's a stick shift, so you're back where you started. You'll go for the SLS or the AMG rather, and then now you're looking at pretty much the C7, and then you'll go 4C, and then you'll be stuck in this tiny little thing, which is nobody's complained on before you until you get to the mid rear. So the steering response is insane. So is the BRZ, but it's front rear, and then mainly because it's turbocharger, and then the wheelbase and the power weight distribution. The RSO1 is again a specialty car for all intents and purposes, like the GT2 test car. So they're like nice and stable cars, but then they're long cars. You'll think Lancer, and you'll never have a chance in the race. The R8 will laugh at you again in big 4C steering response that is just turbocharger for all intents and purposes, even though it's not naturally aspirated. Damn, though, and then let's look at this Porsche thing. Rear. And then that's not a thing. That is 100% not a thing. Cayman GT4. Rear, mid-rear. 917 Living Legend. Rear, mid-rear. No, right? No. Drivetrain again. You go mid-rear, and then there's like all of the cars that I already have, and the RZZ that which we gave up. And then the NSX, oh my fucking god. The Huracan, oh my fucking god. All of the Gran Turismo Super Formula or you know, the Peugeot in Group 3, the 4GT, the McLaren, the Rat, which the F430, the C8, the A110. Oh my fucking god, did that fucking hurt to give up? God fucking damn it. The MP4 is the only car in there that you can actually drive. Or the 458 Italia in Group 3, but you don't want to do Ferrari. Or the Citroen for all that, for instance, or the Valkyrie. Like it'll just give out in there. Yeah. You'll be fine until you have a crash, and then you have no answer when they give you funny looks and ask you, you know, four-wheel drive. The Lancer, the Huracan, the GTR, the Atenza, the Veyron. Oh my god. And then all of this. And then WRX sticking out like a sore thumb. In real life, maybe, depending on the driver, right? Okay. Front. The Megane, the RCZ, the TT Cup, right? The Audi, and then the Sirocco, the Swift Sport. Oh god. Right. God damn it. Yeah. The M4. See what I mean? See what I mean? The Genesis? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Even the F-Type, it's just, it's all front, rear, naturally aspirated. Until you get a thing where it's like, okay, for once we're gonna do a turbocharger and then a mid-rear and then a supercharger. But this four-wheel drive and then rear-wheel drive does not exist. In a race, car, a car, drive, a drive, you know? Tractor. That isn't. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be that thing in the freaking car list. That is, everybody's gonna be like, well, this is where I am just forfeit. Or by default, this is a false start or a non-starter. Shit. Look, for future reference, we'll give up the AMGs. Okay. Maybe. Okay. And then get us, right? A, what was it? In this mid-rear. No. Did we say McLaren? No, we said the MP4. Okay. We'll give up the AMGs. We'll give up an AMG. Okay. Between the 4Cs and the AMG, right? Okay. We'll trade for the RZZ and the NSX. Okay. And the M4. That doesn't sound too bad, right? Okay. Don't Look at me like Lexus is a thing. Okay. Just saying. Look. 4C. Group 3 and Group 4 and the AMG. Okay. AM4 and Group 4, the NSX and the RZZ. Okay. So we'll give up the AMG in Group 3, the 4C in Group 3. Okay. Since we have two of those, and we can do without. Like the AMG in Group 4 is fine, and so is the 4C. It drives like a pretty much a real car. Okay. And then we'll get the M4, like I'm saying. And the RZZ or the NSX. That wouldn't be too bad. See? Okay. Hmm. Look. See? And it's fine. It's fine. Hmm. Hmm.